To access Nurture on Microsoft Teams for desktop as a student, first you need to come to the Teams tab here, and then you need to find the team that Nurture is installed onto. In this case, it's going to be A-level biology, so I'm going to click into that classroom. Next, I need to click on the Nurture tab at the top here. And then I am asked to log in. So I'm going to log in using my Microsoft Teams credentials. So it's just loading here, and if it is the first time logging in as a student, you're going to have to enter in your email address and obviously your password that is associated with Microsoft Teams account. I have logged in the past as a student, so I'm going to be able to select the account in this instance. But it should be able to remember your student each time they log in. And once I'm logged in, I can see here my assessments that the teacher set out for me, including multicellular organisms, and that is how you log into Nurture on Microsoft Teams on desktop. When I'm logged into Microsoft Teams on iPad as a student, I must first navigate to the team I want to use Nurture with. In this case, it's A-level biology. I tap on the general channel, then I tap on apps in the top right hand corner, and here I can see Nurture is available for me as a third-party app. Obviously there's a couple of other versions of Nurture here. You can ignore those for now in this tutorial. The student should only have one version of it. So I'm going to tap on Nurture, and it's going to ask me to log in using my Microsoft login details. Now, I'm just going to enter in the email address and the password that I would use for Microsoft. Your students should only need to do this once when they initially sign in. So I just do the email first, and then I enter in the password. Now I'm going to click on sign in, and on the very next screen, I'm just going to pause for a second here just to explain. If your student has multiple accounts they want to use Nurture with, I would definitely tap no here. Or if, for instance, you are a teacher and you have another account that you want to use as a student just to see how Nurture works on both the student and the teacher side, I would definitely click no here. The reason being is that if I click yes, then it will keep me signed to Nurture using that email address the entire time, and I will not be able to log out of Nurture unless I clear the cache for Microsoft Teams on my device and then log back in. So definitely select no here if you have multiple accounts that you want to use Nurture with. If your student will only use Nurture with the one email the entire time, then for sure they can tap yes, and they could also click don't show this again if they like. But just for this demo, I'm going to click no because I use Nurture with multiple different accounts for recording all these tutorial videos. This should now log me in as a student, and I should be able to see the assessments that my teacher has set out for me. Now it's just loading in the background, and here we can see that I am logged in for the first time. I can see that my teacher has set out an assessment for me, and that is how you log into Nurture on an iPad on Microsoft Teams. To access Nurture on Microsoft Teams for mobile, I must first navigate to the team I want to use Nurture with. So in this case, it's going to be A-level biology. I'm going to tap on the general channel. I'm then going to tap on apps in the top right hand corner. And as you can see, Nurture is available to me here. So I'm just going to tap on Nurture. Now, if it is your student's first time logging into Nurture, it's going to ask them to log in using their email address that they use for Microsoft Teams and also their password. However, once they've done this once, it should not ask them to log in using those details a second time. So I'm just going to enter in my email address. Oops. So it's going to be student7 just for this demonstration. Perfect. So once I've entered the email address and the password, it's going to ask me if I want to stay signed in. Now, very, very important here, if your student has multiple accounts that they want to use Nurture with, then I would not click yes. If they only have one account that they are going to use Nurture with, so one email address, then for sure they can click yes, and they can even click don't show this again if they don't want to see it again. However, if you have a student that has multiple different email accounts for Microsoft Teams and they need to use Nurture with multiple ones of them, then I would not. I would make sure I would tap no here, because if I click yes, then it's just going to keep me logged in using that email address the entire time. Even when I manually log out of Nurture, it's going to keep me logged in using this one here. And the only way to fix that, if it happens, is to clear the cache and clear the app data for Microsoft Teams on this device, and then log back in again. So that's just one thing to know. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to tick no, and once I have ticked no, it should now log me into my Nurture, and I should be able to see the assessments that my teacher has set out to me. And here we can see I'm logged into Nurture now, and I can see that my teacher has one assessment called multicellular organisms ready for me, and that is how you log into Nurture on Microsoft Teams on mobile.